Hello everybody, Sir Games a Lot here with my first impressions video in this video game called Extra Dimensional for the VR headset. And that is a penis. And this is me yeeting myself forward by phasing my wrench through my invisible body and pulling myself forward with it. So I really did not enjoy this boss fight. There were some elements that were fun, but there were a lot of elements that were not fun. And as you'll see, a counter will come up on the screen with the fireballs, because it takes a lot of fireballs to kill this thing. So many, in fact, that I thought it was like a Darth Vader style encounter, like you're not supposed to kill this guy. So I just started wandering around looking for an exit. But I didn't give up, and I carried on Liu Kanging fireballs into this guy's face, and got it first try. Something that was pretty annoying was fumbling around with the weapons and the position the weapons are in when you grab them. So two things really frustrated me about this. The first one is that you need to stand still to eject the battery from your iPhone. I don't mind the reloading mechanic, but having to stand still to eject it just felt like crap to me. And two, it yeeted my hammer wrench off the cliff. I better not bloody need that again. So anyway, so I'll just shut up and just let you watch the boss fight.
Quantum Smart and please enjoy your diet conditions. Please ingest protein and carbohydrates.
So I got it, I took it down, and it actually frustrated me so much that I'm attacking it after it's dead. You probably noticed the feedback on me getting hit was a bit sketchy. Like it looked like a couple of times I took contact damage, which is why I gave up on meleeing. But then I checked my wrist and I didn't take any damage, and then suddenly I took nearly a third of my health in a single hit. And now I am playing with the body because I'm a fucking nutcase. So as you can see, the physics and everything is actually quite good. I would have liked to be able to do some MMA, WWE on the demon during the fight, but you know, it's not Blade and Sorcery. He seems to have gone a more Dark Souls-ish approach to the combat in this game, which is fair. And yes, I am about to do what you think I'm about to do. Yes, I am doing what you thought I was going to do. The old hump and dump. Now, I was mildly frustrated with this, and I beat it first try. I can only imagine it being very annoying for somebody who is a little bit less fortunate. But feeling like I want to attack the corpse because the boss fight frustrated me so much is not. I don't like that. That's reminds me of Helldivers, where an enemy glitches out and just pisses me off fighting it. So I end up just shooting the corpse a million times. I mean, yeah, that scene's in Starship Troopers, the funky sack of maggot sucking puke or whatever he calls the bug while he's shooting it on the floor. That's iconic, but he does that because he hates bugs, right? And if you translate that into a gaming experience, then you're making me hate the game. You know, I'd rather put my foot on it or hold it in the air like a trophy, like something that was hard fought but fair. You know, and that didn't feel like that. It just felt frustrating. I understand that there's no sprint mechanic in the game because you want things to feel methodical, slow-paced, eerie. But there are many sections where there's nothing to do and you're just going from A to B. Lots of liminal spaces. And in those sections, that's what ended up making me figure out that you can yeet yourself by forcing the hammer through your invisible body and then yanking yourself forward. I think if it gets to the point where players are starting to glitch their way through these empty sections, then you should maybe consider putting in a sprint mechanic. Just checked out the Nexus website for the mod site for this game, and there's a new one out. The first mod you could really say that's been introduced, other than just changing Lix's hair colour, is a mod that increases your movement speed. So I mean, proof's in the pudding. I don't know. In terms of the sprint mechanic, if you were to add a sprint mechanic, like, I understand there's some parts of the game that would get in the way of. For example, the first boss fight, you know, in quotes, boss that you fight is a big, massive, great big crawler / spider thing, right? And none of your attacks work on it. I didn't try it to find that out, but I found it out after the fact that nothing you could do to it would hurt it. And basically, like, this thing is following you, and your inability to sprint keeps this thing right on your tail, and that's very tense. And it was a well done section, and I think you could just, you know, just double down on it. Like, if you were to put a sprint mechanic in the game, just make that boss a bit faster, you know. And then you've got an even tenser sequence where maybe you've got a stamina mechanic where you run out of stamina, your character's out of breath trying to get away from this thing. By the way, if it turns out I need that wrench after it's been yeeted off the cliff, all I'm saying is the game better give me another one, because like, there were numerous times leading up to that boss fight where I needed that wrench to open some, you know, to pull some bolts off the wall to open a panel that has the switch to open the door behind it. And if you know, that's quite a fun little detour, you know, fun little mechanic to do every now and then in the game. So the fact that my hammer got yeeted off the cliff by a demon's bad breath, it doesn't feel good. I would give you a back sheath, right, to put your weapons in, because you get around all of the fumbling if there's a back sheath. Numerous times I would encounter a puzzle, go to put my sword down, and then it would phase through the wall or something like that, or it'd just not be there when I come back. And it's just you can get around that by having a back sheath. Obviously, the wrist iPad, when it's fully out of battery, just let it automatically eject and toss out the empty battery, because there's nothing you're going to do with the battery. There's nothing you can do with the iPhone or the battery, so just move away from needing to stand still and push A. You know, it took 45 fireballs to bring that beast down. 45, and at no point during any of it, you probably noticed that at one point I just stopped fighting it, and I was just like, am I even meant to beat this thing? And I just started running in circles looking for an exit. You know, numerous times I've played a game where you're not supposed to beat the boss and you're supposed to die against it, and I thought maybe this is what it is, but I didn't want to let it beat me to test that out, because I knew it would probably fumble the checkpoint and send me back to before the puzzle 20 minutes ago. So I sort that out, you know, but then I would sort out the stages of progression, of letting you know that you're getting somewhere with this boss. You know, with Dark Souls, with Monster Hunter, there's a stagger mechanic, poise mechanic sort of thing in there, where if you hit them enough, then they will stagger back, and it lets you get a few more hits in. And there's like a progressing damage model on the enemy as well. Pop that in there, you know, say after Fireball 15 it staggers, it's down on the floor, sort of trying to put the flames on its wings out or something like that, and then you're like, oh, it's freaking out, I'm going to go in for a few hits, and you're punching it while it's on the floor because you've already thrown your sword away. Or if you put a sheath in, then you can get your sword out and slash it a few times, you know. That would make it better. But I would add a Dark Souls parry mechanic on top of this, because you saw I went to parry with my hammer and it just ate through it. I would absolutely add a parry mechanic. I think that would make this, like the combat in general, feel much better. Certain puzzles where if you fail it, some spikes, slow motion, come from either wall and just crush you, and you're just dead and you've got to go back, right? And in 2 of these instances, I've managed, with my evolved rodent brain, who survived the apocalypse, I have managed to to weasel my way into a little gap where I should have survived, right? And not being rewarded for that. Like, I full on went prone in real life and got into a nook where this rolling pin of death with spikes on it didn't even come close to hitting me. And I think if instead of going in and being like, well, I'll just make it look like it actually crosses you, I think if you actually made that a way that you can get through these sections, like after the puzzle's done and failed and the spikes come down and you find the little gap in it that you haven't put a spike in there, that I've seen, there's no spike there, I'm gonna hide down in that section. Like, if you get in there, the puzzle does its thing, retracts, and then the gates open as if the puzzle thinks you're dead. Like, ha, he is dead now. Hey, wait, where are you going? I think that's almost revolutionary, bruv. If you actually put that in as a way that you can weasel your way through these encounters, I really do think that's revolutionary. And I hope that's the path that you go with it, because that would feel really good. Like, if I like frantically look around while this rolling pin of death is coming down from the ceiling at me, if I frantically look around like, oh, is there a way that I can survive this? And I find a way, and I go prone and I hide in the nook, and it doesn't hit me, but then it's, you know, the game still kills me. It just doesn't feel rewarding for that little burst of survival instinct that I had, that I thought I got right. You know, it would kind of fit in with the theme of the game as well, right? Because you're like this unwitting chosen one who was just doing a shift at work, and now he's got to save an alternate universe. If you put in this little weaselly way that you can get through these puzzles even after failing them, I think that's revolutionary. And I feel like being able to fumble your way forward as this supposed chosen one would be in theme for what you've got going here, would give the game more personality, would be something that people talk about, you know. So there were some things that I really liked about it, like outside of needing to stand still, the reload mechanic of needing to frantically look down at your tool belt and pull out a AA battery so you can plug it into your iPhone. I think that's actually a lot of fun. That's good tension. Bad tension is where the game just says you need to stop on the spot because the controls are fucky. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I want to go over. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. It's a different thing that I'm trying to do today. The developer himself, he's added me and he's like discussed my feedback with me and acted on it, and the game's objectively better after he's changed it, you know. I really need to re-emphasize this fact that this is phenomenal what this developer's doing, and he's probably regretting doing it because of the whole give them an inch they take a mile thing and my critical nature, my overly critical nature. But you know, most developers are like this when you give them feedback.
Let me be abundantly clear with you tonight. I do not care.
So yeah, anyway, this has been Sir Games a Lot, and like, share, subscribe and all that. I mean don't share. I mean who's sharing this stuff? Hey man, you gotta hear this 15-minute long expose that this guy did on this game. No, nobody cares. Innit? So just like and just watch it. Hopefully you got this far, and I'll see you later. Hello everybody, Sir Games a Lot here, and I'm going to fucking completely fuck this up. Hello everyone, Sir Games a Lot here, and I've left the volume on.
The game is in objectively first state because you are eating cream bagels instead of fixing the bugs!